from a pinning perspective, I can come over the arms. It doesn't matter whether you grab the bell, grab the pants, we can come under the arms. But I think the best form of control from top is an over-under control. So I'm going to have an underhook and an overhook. And again, my head will be on the same side as the underhook. And I'll probably just not be in north-south. I'll be more halfway between side control and north-south, where I can pin car. But the beauty about this form of control is, offensively now, I have an underhook. I can start attacking this arm. Chimera armbar. Does that make sense? So I think out of the three, this is probably the most popular with good players. Instead of just coming over the arms or under the arms, an underhook and an overhook with your head on the same side and a slight angle. So you're not just a north-south, you're more 45. Play around with it if you're not familiar with it. It is a good pin to keep someone down. Cards on me. The escape's just the same as the last one, just a slightly different, keeping my arm safe. So again, from the bottom position, you need to be aware of what arm is underhook and what arm is overhook. It's a feel thing. So from here, I do one card. Turning me this way means turning the back my arm. Back. You need to keep this arm safe. So from there, I'm going to do a slight bump, and I bring my arm to the other side. Okay? And this way, my right arm is over Carl's right shoulder. I'm going to do a slight bump, bring it under, and now it's under the left shoulder. Very similar to the last technique. So now I don't want Carl's head is low down over my body. So just a bridge and a stretch to create a little bit of space. I'll swing my legs to my right, and I'll bring them back to my left. I'm stretching with my right and withdrawing my elbow. Because this angle was different, you'll probably get out on the first turn. And by sheer luck, we're in the side right position again. Let's look at the clock choke. So from here, clock choke fundamentals. Right hand comes under, grabs the car wrist, pulls it to his body. Left hand comes over the left shoulder, and that's a thumb in grip, and I find the collar. From there I take the slack out of the collar, I bring my chest over his head and push it towards the mat, and then I put my right hip on his head, and I walk round in a clockwise circle. That's called the clock choke. Yeah. So, obviously we can take the back from turtle top, but we can also attack it with the choke. Right hand comes under, I grab the wrist, pulls it towards me. Left hand finds the collar, and then I'll use my chest to push Connor's head towards the mat, and then I put my hip on his head. And it depends on whether you're connected with your choke. If your grip's sort of loose, you may have to move around a little bit to get it. The two problematic areas with that choke is getting reversed. The minute I come under and Card clamps, if he just straightens his right leg and drops his right shoulder, he can reverse me. Okay? Or the other problem is when I bring my left hand over the shoulder and bring it in, he has a free, even though I'm pinning this one, he's a free left hand. He can start making separation, so you don't have the connection to get the choke. We can deal with that just by modifying the clock choke, which is a better way of doing it. So from here, when I grab his wrist and put it to his body, notice the way when Carl straightens his right leg and drops his shoulder, watch what happens to his left shoulder. It actually raises. So rather than me putting my chest on his head, I'm going to put my hip on his shoulder. Does that make sense? So my hip is on his shoulder. So for Carl to drop his right shoulder, his left shoulder has to raise, if that makes sense. Which is difficult, but I have weight on it. The second thing we're thinking about is when that hand comes through and Carl creates separation, I just
do that same move that we did with the last two, which is why we did it earlier. So we're here, I look at my watch, he's created separation, and now from there, I let my arm go limp, and then I just look over my watch. Okay, so putting it back into the escape, which is the most important thing. So on the north-south bottom, Carl has an underhook and an overhook, and his head will most likely be on the same side as the underhook. Good jiu-jitsu. From there, I don't want him turning me on to my side and starting to attack this arm with the come here arm bar. So I want to get my right arm safe. So my right arm, I may have to do a slight bump, and now it comes over the other shoulder. Again, Carl's head's quite low on me. I want it a little bit higher up. So again, just like we did in the last technique, I'm going to stretch my arms and do a little bump. And then I swing my legs to my right. As I bring it to my left, I'm withdrawing my left elbow and stretching out. And a lot of the time, because his angle was different, he wasn't just a north-south, he'll probably get out on the first one. So the minute I come under for the clap choke, and he clamps, my hip goes on that shoulder. So now I'm not getting reverse. Second hand comes in, but when he uses his left hand to defend, I just use two fingers, and then I look at my watch, and now it's just like a rope around your neck. So from here, a bump, get this arm safe, stretch, a slight bump, swing my legs, move this away, withdraw one elbow, stretch it at the other. Side right position, make the grip. The second he clamps, I put my hip on his shoulder, so he can't drop this one. Second hand comes in. When he makes his grip, I just look at my watch, and then I create separation. Just play with that, guys. Focus on the escape though, that's the main theme we're thinking of, okay?